Hello battlers, are you a fan of Battle Spirit Saikyo Ginga Ultimate Zero? Because today, we are going to be opening the latest Battle Spirits Dash deck, SD64 The Infinite Bond. And in Japanese, Infinite is Mugen. And of course, I couldn't resist. I got the premium card sets for Ian and Chocola as well. So we'll be opening them as part of this video too. Okay, so out of the box, first we have our usual paper, grayscale playmats, as well as our core, which I think I will leave inside for the moment, and the deck itself. And here we go. First we have Mugen returning as a contract spirit, which means you can start the game with one copy of him in your hand. In Soul State, Pre-Advent, or Spirit form, when your count increases by your Incarnate family effects, you can place your Soul Core from the trash on one of your Spirit Ultimates. And in Pre-Advent and Spirit form, when this Spirit attacks, plus 2 counts, then you can destroy an opposing Spirit or Ultimate with 5000 DP or less without letting their effects activate. So very red in nature, destroying your opponent's cards based on DP while increasing your counts. A very solid partner. And this deck comes with 2 copies of him. And here we go, a revival version of Ultimate Mugendragon. I can't believe I'm seeing him again after so many years. When this ultimate is summoned or attacks, you can destroy your opponent's spirit with the highest BP. And when this spirit attacks, double ultimate trigger. For each hit, during this turn, all of your ultimate dragon or 3 dragon god family spirits and ultimates gain 1 red symbol. And on double hits, delete all of your opponent's spirits with 10k BP or less, and if you destroyed any spirits with this effect, you can draw 2 cards. So very nice, very destructive and aggressive Mugendragon. And now here comes his new form, Mugendragon the First Star, and that is a reference to the nickname of Ray, the main character of Saikyo Ginga and Mugen's partner. Flash, during your turn, you can contract Advent Disc Spirits on your Flame Contract or Incarnate Family Spirit when your count is 6 or higher. When this spirit attacks, your opponents cannot use magic or XL effects unless they send a core from their life to the trash. And if this spirit has Mugen in its pre-contract, increase the amount of core your opponent must send by 1. Which means, if you have your Mugen on the field and you contract Advent the First Star on top of it, he attacks, your opponent must literally pay 2 life, otherwise they cannot counter your attack with any magic or XL effects. An excellent finisher. And not only that, once your count reaches 8 or higher, this spirit will enter Overcount. While Advent's in Overcount, during your attack step, when your Incarnate Family Spirit attacks, if it is the first attack that turn, during this turn, that spirit gains 2 additional red symbols. So he will basically be attacking for 3 damage, but your opponent must pay 2 of their life in order to counter. An extremely aggressive final form, truly fitting for the Mugendragon line. And also, the art is just sick. And if you guys haven't noticed, do you see that all of his wings come in different colors? Blue, green, purple, yellow, and I think there's red, and there should be whites hidden somewhere there as well, all reflecting the 6 colors of Battle Spirits. This has to be a reference to all of the different forms that Ray goes through and the different colors of ultimates that he uses in the anime. And I just absolutely love that reference. I really like it when main characters in card game anime actually dabble in like all of the different colors or themes in the game rather than sticking only to like the main protagonist one. Okay, now let's get into the other new cards in this deck. Viewman Polaris. First of all, this spirit's symbols and reduction symbols are also treated as being blue and yellow, so not only in this Mugen deck, you can pair them with the new Ian and Chocola cards as well. He is a burst that triggers after your opponent activates a spirit's when summoned or when rebirths effect. You get to draw 2 cards, then summon this spirit at no cost. That's very nice as a draw source for any of these new Incarnate decks. And when this spirit is summoned, first you can destroy one opposing spirit with 12k BP or less. After that, if you have a contract spirit in Pre-Advent or Soul State, you can destroy one opposing spirit or nexus with 1 symbol. And the spirits and nexuses destroyed by this effect cannot activate their effects. That is a pretty nice support card to give some destruction to all 3 little baby dragons. So we have Polaris over there, and here we have Alex Revival just to help the deck run a bit smoother by providing some protection as well as extra core and extra draw when necessary. And here we have Revival, Mugendragon Nova. Man, this art is seriously so nostalgic. Flash, during either player's attack step, you can contract Advent Disc Spirits on your Flame Contract or Incarnate Family Spirit when your count is 3 or higher. When the spirit advents or attacks, +1 your counts, After that, you can destroy one opposing spirit or ultimate with 12k BP or less. And at 5 count or higher, he enters overcount. While in overcount, during either player's attack step, when your incarnate family spirit or ultimate performs the first attack or block for the turn, refresh that spirit. You can refresh that spirit. I like that. It's a pretty nice support effect that can activate at a lower count compared to the first star, and goes very well with the new revival version of Ultimate Mugendragon. So 2 copies of that. Next, Ryuman Medieval. I think another Ryuman form. Just like the Polaris earlier, his symbols can be treated as blue and yellow as well. Wait a minute. When this spirit is summoned, you can summon up to 3 incarnate family spirits or ultimates from your hand, paying only 1 cost each, and for each Mugen, Ian, or Chocola you summon with this effect, draw 1 card. Isn't that a bit ridiculous? Like, there's no cost limit on the spirits you can summon with this effect, so you can literally like bring down 3 ultimate Mugendragons. And at level 2, when this spirit attacks, destroy 1 opposing spirit with 12k BP or less. Okay, just a very mediocre level 2 skill, since his on summon is already like, what in the world? And I guess that kind of makes it possible to not just create the 3 individual red, blue, and yellow decks for these 3 incarnates, but also to make a single triple color deck featuring all 3, which actually leads to this next card over here, Trinity Star, which as you guys can see, has 1 red, 1 yellow, and 1 blue reduction, so it goes very well in a tricolor deck. Flash, immediately end the battle. After that, destroy 1 opposing spirit with 7k BP or less. And if you control an incarnate family spirit, during this turn, your opponent's cost 4 or higher spirits or ultimates cannot attack. So that is a very nice non-white defensive magic that is now accessible to these 3 decks. And we're getting 2 copies of that. So it looks like we've gone through all of the foils already, and now we are going to go through the lower level support spirits. And we're starting with, oh my god, Revival Feizard. How long has it been since I've seen you, my friend? 0 cost, and now he's a Mirage that can be set for 1 cost as well. While set as a Mirage during your attack step once per turn, when your incarnate family spirit or ultimate attacks during that battle, you can increase its cost by 1, thereby increasing your chances of getting hits with your ultimate trigger. And at level 2, during your attack step, your attacking incarnate family spirits and ultimates get plus 3k BP, so just a very nice support. I mean, he is just 0 cost, so there's really no harm in just putting him down on the board. And here we have Revival Mugendra, also now a Mirage. While set as a Mirage, during your attack step, when your incarnate family spirit attacks, send the top card of your opponent's deck to the trash. If that card's cost is lower than your attacking spirits, destroy 1 opposing spirit with 10k BP or less and 1 opposing nexus. That is very nice. He basically can give all of your incarnate family spirits a pseudo-ultimate trigger effect. That is so cool, I love that. And at levels 1 and 2, Spirit Soul Red, when you are summoning an ultimate, this spirit gains an additional red symbol. So I remember we had this effect in Saikyo Ginga as well. That is very nice. Okay, next we have Revival Edge Wolf. Okay, first of all, just like the Ryumans, his symbols are treated as blue-yellow. During your main step, when you are summoning an incarnate family spirit or ultimate, this spirit gains an additional red symbol. And of course, that additional symbol would end up being treated as blue or yellow as well if you played in their respective decks. And when this spirit attacks, you can give this spirit plus 3k BP for the turn. Okay, just a okay low-level card, I guess. And here we have Revival Mugendragon. Flash, during your turn, he can contract advance on your Flame Contract or Incarnate Family Spirits. When this spirit is summoned or advanced, your count plus 1. And after that, you can return 1 Incarnate Family Spirit from your trash to your hand. Overcount, that count 5 or higher. And while in overcount, during your attack step, when your Incarnate Family Spirit or Ultimate attacks for the first time that turn, you can destroy an opposing Spirit or Ultimate with equal or less BP. I imagine it would be quite solid to line up all of the Contract Advent Mugendragons on your field at once, and then when your Spirit attacks for the first time, all of their effects trigger and you just get some explosive damage. Dragon Revival, when this spirit attacks or blocks, destroy 1 opposing spirit with 7k BP or less. After that, if you control an incarnate family spirit or ultimate, destroy 2 opposing nexuses. Very red-like, and in general, I just really like the idea of destroying the opponent's foundation in terms of their nexuses. The Red Dawn Sky Revival can be set as a Mirage for 1 cost. While set as a Mirage during your attack step, when your incarnate family spirit or ultimate attacks, plus 1 your count. And at level 1, at the start of your attack step, if your count is 5 or less, plus 1 your count. But if your count is 6 or more, during this turn, all of your incarnate family spirits and ultimates are treated as plus 1 cost to get off their ultimate triggers a bit easier. But this effect does not stack, so you won't get to use it multiple times if you have multiple copies of this nexus on your field. Next, the Village of Hunters Revival. At levels 1 and 2, once per turn, by name, when your incarnate family, spirit, or ultimate is summoned or advent, you can +1 your counts. After that, you may draw a card. And at level 2, during the opponent's attack step, when your life is reduced by your opponent, destroy one opposing spirit with 5k BP or less. And in addition, if you have a contract spirit in pre-advent or soul state, destroy one opposing spirit with 10k BP or less. So I guess while you have this on the field, it basically prevents your opponent from rushing you down, which can be one of the weaknesses with Red. Since it's so offensive, it's a bit weak on the defensive side. Flame Spark Revival destroys many opposing spirits and ultimates up to a maximum cost of 12k BP. And if you do, return one spirit or ultimate card from your trash to your hand. Then if you control any Mugen spirit or ultimate, including being in soul state or pre-advent, destroy one opposing spirit or ultimate with one symbol or less. And there we go. 3 copies, and ending off with one final card, Neo Double Draw Revival. On main, draw 2 cards. After that, if you have an incarnate family contract spirit in soul state or pre-advent, destroy one opposing spirit or ultimate with 3k BP or less and draw 1 card. And on flash, during this turn, one of your spirits or ultimates gains plus 3k BP, and this looks like the final card we are ending off with 2 copies. And that was the Infinite Bond Battle Spirits Dash deck. So now, why don't we head in order with Ian next. So this is not a deck, it is called a premium card set. And it basically comes in the form of like this booklet. You can see all of the cards featured inside on the back. And basically you get 1 copy of each. Yep, so there's only 1 copy of each of the 8 cards inside. So if you plan to build an Ian deck, you will probably need to get 3 copies of this set, which might be a bit expensive, other than a Blue World, which I think is the only reprint, and a very solid one, I might add. The rest are all new or revival cards. So let's start by taking a look at Ian himself. In Soul State Pre-Advent and Spirit form, once per turn by name, when your count increases by your incarnate family effects, you can place 1 core from the void on your incarnate family spirits. So that's very similar to Mugen's effect, just that his is a normal core rather than the soul core. And of course, since it's from the void, I guess this counts as a core boost, whereas Mugen's would be more of core recycle. And in Pre-Advent or Spirit form, when this spirit attacks +2 your counts, after that, destroy 1 opposing spirit or ultimate with a cost 4 or less, ignoring the cost of Braves. So once again, very similar to Mugen, it has a destruction effect on attack, but it's more blue than red, based on cost rather than BP. So next, let's leave the big ones for the end, alright? And move on to the Revival Drian. When set as a Mirage during your attack step, when your incarnate family spirit attacks, pseudo ultimate trigger, and if hits, destroy 1 opposing spirit with the lowest cost. And at all levels, spirit soul blue, giving him an additional blue symbol when you summon an ultimate. Revival Meteor Drian as a contract advent spirit. On either player's attack step, blue contract or incarnate, count 3 or higher. When this spirit advents or attacks, +1 your counts. After that, destroy 1 opposing spirit or ultimate with cost 7 or less, ignoring the cost of Braves. Overcount at count 7 or higher. And in overcounts, during your attack step, when your incarnate family spirit or ultimate attacks for the first time that turn, you can look at your opponent's hand and discard 1 magic card from it. Okay, I was not expecting this for Mugen because Rei's nickname is the First Star. I guess it kind of makes sense for all of his effects to trigger when it's the first attack that turn, whereas Ian's partner, Kiriga, is known as the Shooting Star. But I don't know, maybe they are just trying to make this effect common to all the 3 new incarnate decks. Next, Star Drian, contract advents during your turn on blue contract or incarnate. When advents and attacks once per turn, if this spirit has an incarnate family spirit in its pre-advents, draw 2 cards, then discard 1 card. Overcount at count 4 or higher. And while in overcount during your attack step, when your incarnate family spirit or ultimate attacks for the first time that turn, during this turn, your opponent cannot activate the burst effects of spirits. Okay, so they are keeping the first effect gimmick. Let's look at the ultimates. Revival Ultimate Drian first. Dude, this artwork. Again, he has no effects other than triple ultimate trigger when this ultimate attacks. For each hit, during this turn, all of your incarnate family spirits or ultimates are treated as 1 level higher. On double hits, destroy 1 opposing spirit with the highest cost. And on triple hit, refresh this ultimate. And because this entire effect is not once per turn, if you get the triple hit, he refreshes, he attacks again, you go for another triple ultimate trigger, which is just mad. And now, let's take a look at the new card. Drian's True Contract Advent Spirit Final Form, Drian the Shooting Star. On Flash, Contract Advent during your turn on blue Contract or Incarnate at count 5 or higher. Now this card has a pretty interesting gimmick. When your opponent's effects would end your turn or attack step, you can immediately Advent this card from your hand onto your Ian. And at level 1 and 2, during your turn, your opponent's effects cannot end the turn or attack step. So you instantly negate that barrier. Overcount at cost 7 or higher, and in overcounts at levels 1 and 2 when this spirit attacks, destroy one opposing spirit or ultimate with a cost 10 or less. After that, by exhausting one of your nexuses, refresh up to 2 of your Incarnate family spirits and ultimates. Oh, so basically, if you have both Shooting Star and Ultimate Drian on your field, you attack, get the triple ultimate on his triple ultimate trigger, but let's say you fail to get all 3 so he doesn't refresh. Then you attack with Shooting Star while you are in overcounts. Then by refreshing one of your nexuses, both wake up and you can just do it again. So just like a Shooting Star, honestly, these 2 cards have the potential to attack an endless amount of times, like a meteor shower. And this should be the last card, a new nexus, the Ruins of the Hill where Shooting Stars fall. At levels 1 and 2, your opponent cannot use magic cards with colors that are not the same as the symbols on their field. And while your count is 5 or higher, your opponent also cannot use XL effects with colors that are not the same as the symbols on their field. And at level 2, at the start of your attack step, you can pay 1 cost to summon an Incarnate family pre-advent card from under one of your spirits. This effect does not stack, and that should be it for the new Ian cards. Now finally, we move on to Chocola. So just like the Ian set, it's a booklet that opens up like this with 1 copy of each of the 8 cards. So here we go again. Once again, we have a really solid Rebirth World reprint, but it's a bit unfortunate that it's Yellow World and Blue World this time because these 2 worlds actually I already have because I pulled them from the boosters. So I still need to continue my quest to assemble the rest. Okay, so we'll put Yellow World aside for now and check out the new Chocola, which is absolutely adorable. In Soul State, Pre-Advent, and Spirit form, once per turn by name, when your count increases by your Incarnate family effects, you may draw 1 card. And in Pre-Advent and Spirit form, when this spirit attacks, +2 your counts, after that you can give 1 opposing spirit or ultimate minus 6k DP, and if it reaches 0, destroy it. So yes, just like Mugen and Ian, a resource acceleration effects when your count increases by your Incarnates, and also on attack, removal or destruction in a way that is most comfortable to their color. Next, we have Revival Chocodra. While set as a Mirage during your attack step, when your Incarnate family spirit attacks, pseudo ultimate trigger, and if hits, during that battle, that spirit cannot be blocked. And at all levels, Spirit Soul Yellow, giving it an additional yellow symbol when you summon an ultimate. Next, we have a new card, Chocodra Anje. Yes, I believe this is because I think both Mugen and Ian had a lot of like those little medium form changes during the anime, but Chocodra never really got them other than her ultimate form. So it's really nice to see these new forms for her with new arts. Contract Advents during either player's attack step on Cloud Contracts or Incarnate. When this spirit is summoned or advanced, +1 your counts. After that, you can return an Incarnate family magic card from your trash to your hand. Overcount at cost 4 or higher. And while in overcounts during either player's attack step, when your Incarnate family spirit or ultimate attacks or blocks for the first time that turn, you can give all opposing spirits and ultimates minus 5k DP for the turn, and they are destroyed if they reach 0. Okay, so I guess they are keeping to the first attack of the turn theme, even for the other 2 dragons. Next, what is this one? Chocodra Lucifer, or Lucifer. Contract Advents, either player's attack step on Cloud Contracts or Incarnate when your count is 3 or higher. When this spirit is summoned or advanced, draw 2 cards from the bottom of your deck, enter overcount at count 4 or higher. So it does feel like Chocodra's overcounts are a bit easier to reach compared to Ian and Mugen's. While in overcounts during either player's attack step, when your Incarnate family spirit or ultimate attacks or blocks for the first time this turn, during this turn, all of your opponent's nexuses and Grand Walker nexuses cannot activate their effects. That is pretty sick, man. Okay, now let's move on to Revival Ultimates Chocodra. And she is a burst. She bursts after an opposing spirit or ultimate attacks. During this turn, 2 opposing spirits cannot attack. And after that, summon this card at no cost. And when she attacks, of course, ultimate trigger. When her ultimate trigger hits, you can summon or deploy 1 Incarnate family card from your hand without paying the cost. And if you do, return 1 opposing level 1 or 2 spirit to the bottom of the deck. I see. So if you're playing a pure yellow Chocola build, you can use this effect to, of course, multiply more ultimate Chocodras and repeat, you know, or summon one of the smaller ones which can act as a pre-advance for your Contract Advance. Or if you mix this with Mugen and Ian, they can come out for free with this effect as well. So that's some nice synergy that benefits the deck as well, but also can work together, comboing with the rest. And here we go. The new ultimate form of Chocodra, Chocodra the Morning Star. And I'm not sure if you guys can see, but what I really love about this new form of hers is that her outfit greatly resembles her partner's Eris's. Contract advance on either player's attack step on a cloud contract or incarnates at counts 5 or higher. When this spirit advance or attacks, +1 your counts. After that, for every 2 of your counts, one opposing spirit cannot attack or block for the turn. Yes, so the sense I've been getting is that Mugen and Ian are more of doing stuff on your turn kind of stuff, but Chocodra over here can do a lot of stuff on the opponent's turn, like by, during flash timing, performing a contract advent in response to your opponent's plays in order to basically, stop them in their tracks and stun their movements. But of course, this can be used offensively as well, since it also prevents your opponent's spirits from blocking, so you can use this on your turn to just get that final hit in. She enters overcount at count 8 or higher, and while advance during overcounts, flash when this spirit attacks, once per turn. Return all opposing spirits that are currently being affected by effects that prevent them from blocking to the bottom of the deck. After that, if this spirit has Choco in its pre-advance, for each spirit returned by this effect, send 1 core from your opponent's life to the reserve. But maximum 3. Still though, that is a lot, and could potentially end the game without even having to actually strike your opponent. So very fitting for yellow, and I'm really liking what I see here. So although it kind of feels like they're a bit defensive with their various effects that can be used on the either player's attack stat, they do have the potential to end the game as well, and that's pretty solid. And finally, we have a revival of this magic card, Angel Strike, which has the Incarnate family. Give 1 opposing spirit or ultimate -7k BP for the turn, destroy it if it reaches 0, and if you control any Choco, including being in Soul State or pre-advance, you can activate this effect once again. Then, once per turn by name, +1 your count. Okay. Not too shabby for this Choco deck, I guess. Okay, and with that, we have finished opening these sets that mark the revival of Mugen, Ian, and Chocola in the Battle Spirits card game. 3 very lovable characters and mascots from the Saikyo Ginga Ultimate Zero anime series. Still one of my favorites. Now, I am very tempted to build some decks with these and maybe film some matches for you guys to see, but will I be able to do so? Depends on my schedule. As usual, if you guys enjoyed this video, do give it a like. Let me know what you guys think about these new cards in the comment section down below. And don't forget to subscribe for more Battle Spirits booster box, product openings, and content in general. And with that, hope to see you guys in the next Battle Spirits video.